Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome. Now it's said that life is what you make of it, and that depends on the choices we all make. At some point in our lives, we all have to face the tough decision of choosing a career stream. And whenever we make that decision, it must seem justified. Now, students, when you decide to make a career choice, always remember one thing in mind that it will not only require the investment of your valuable time, but also the financial investment that is involved is huge. So I would say that whenever you take this step, base it on honest self analysis. Today we are going to discuss law as a career option. And more than law being a career option, I would say let us first focus on law as your choice of degree immediately after the 12th standard or after graduation. We will debunk a few myths associated with this profession and this degree. Also, we will confirm a few. Let us begin this session. If you will take a look at this slide and the next one, it is going to give you a list of the most strong, influential, and powerful lawyers in India. These lawyers have the ability to hold the courtrooms in awe with their strong and influential arguments. If you take a careful look at this slide, it holds the name of very, very eminent lawyers like Mr. Gopal Subramaniam, Abhishek Manu Sangvi, who also has to his credit the fact that he became the youngest Advocate General of India. The next slide is talking about honchos like Harish Salve, then there's Mr. Ram Jethmalani, Solias Sarabji. Now I have started this session by bringing out the name of the top lawyers in our country because when you hear the word law, you immediately associate the field of practicing in the field of law. You immediately can picturize courtrooms and bar rooms, and that is the first obvious choice for any person who chooses to do a degree in law. Now, moving ahead, what is so unique about the degree of law? Well, if you take a look at the slide, first of all, it is embedded in every aspect of our life. Our lives are channelized, they are functioning as per the requirements of law. Something as small as not jumping a red light, or something as big as entering into contracts with huge MNCs, or the relationship between an employer and an employee are all guided by the field of law. Another thing is that once you have pursued and finished a degree in law, it will bring out a heightened sense of awareness. You will always be very assured about how law is being applied in our day to day lives, and you can be very assured that you can never be cheated as far as wrong application of a law is concerned. Definitely, if you have knowledge about law, it is going to give you an edge over the rest of the people. Other thing is it is very, very intellectually challenging, and there has been an element of dynamism because laws are constantly changing. Laws react to the current needs of society. A few years ago we could have never imagined laws being considered for homosexuals or any kind of legal recognition being given to live in relationships. But now, since our society is changing, law is also adapting itself to the changing trends of the society. That is why there is always going to remain an inherent element of dynamism in law, and that is why it continues to be a very challenging and intellectually fulfilling degree. Also, lastly, but not the least, it offers you a chance to contribute. Any person who has pursued a degree in law, let's now talk about conventionally practicing and representing someone in a courtroom, probably someone who cannot afford a lawyer themselves. But you can also, in your day to day lives, through conversations at home, at office, keep guiding people about the various nuances of law if they are being cheated on, if they are being approached with the right perspective. So you can keep guiding people in your day to day lives if you have an in depth knowledge of how laws work in a country. This slide talks about skills. Now, when I say skills, the first thing I would say is that if you are good at critical thinking, oration, writing, if you're a good presenter, a good communicator, then definitely law is an easy choice for you. But having said that, I would also say that 5-year professional courses will not only polish these skills for those who already have them, but for people who probably feel that they do not have these skills in the adequate amount, once they have finished their degree in law, they will come out with these skills. You will have inherited or imbibed these skills during your process of 5 years of learning in the field of law. Now, how does a degree in law teach you to be discreet? Now, law is all about the application of various laws to a given situation. So, you will obviously evolve the habit of sieving out relevant from the irrelevant. And how does a degree in law combine theory with practice? Now, most of the law courses are designed in such a manner that you are also implementing various laws in situations that are created in the midst of a moot courtroom. So you are constantly not only learning law, but you're also applying law and you're learning how is its practical functioning. So all those who feel that law is all about cramming cases or it is very dry and mundane, let me tell you students that it can open your eyes to various human behavioral aspects, sociological aspects, and it can bring out your investigative flair. What are the unique career prospects that are available to anybody who pursues a degree in law? Well, the most important thing that we must know about this degree is that it is self-sufficient in nature. Once you've pursued a degree in law and you have cleared your bar exam, you're good to go and practice in a courtroom. So, first of all, it will give you that assurance of being your own boss. Second obvious choice, of course, associated with self-sufficiency is litigation. You can practice in any of the fields of law. The traditional fields would be criminal law, civil law, then there is corporate law, there are taxation laws, etc. And when we talk about new fields, we have fields like marine laws, space law, intellectual property rights, etc. Then you have a very unique choice of sitting for the judicial services. Now, all the recruitments that are made for the posts of sub magistrates and magistrates, they are made by the state public service commissions who conduct judiciary examinations, and you can directly get recruited to these posts. And these very magistrates and sub magistrates, by way of promotion, not only reach the High Court but also the Supreme Court subsequently. Only if you pursue a degree in law you can sit for not only your civil service examinations but also your judicial service examinations, and that is why law is a unique career proposition. Then, as I've discussed, UPSC conducts exams for various civil posts, and of course if you have a degree in law, it is better than doing a normal graduation course because it will not only give you an edge as far as preparation is concerned, but once you clear these exams it will help you in becoming a very effective administrator. Teaching is another viable career option once you have pursued a degree in law. If you hold a good academic record through your degree in law, and if you decide to do a post graduation, that is an LLM followed by PhD, then you can directly be recruited as an assistant professor in a government college or university. And of course private colleges have also come up who are offering good courses in the field of law. Then of course writing and editing law books is a very viable career option once you have a good in-depth knowledge in the field of law. What are the emerging fields? Now we have discussed the very obvious career choices, and these choices have been fashionable and have been closely associated with any person who chooses to do a degree in law. But there are various upcoming prospects, there are various combinations of other degrees which will give you an edge as far as employment prospects are concerned. The first thing is legal outsourcing. Now, legal outsourcing is when one firm avails the legal services of another law firm. And if you do the same from a law firm based in another country, then this will be called legal offshoring. Another thing is, if you first do law and then if you do a course in journalism, it is an extremely viable career option these days. And even if you choose to not do journalism as a degree separately, then you can become eligible for legal journalism, where you can exclusively be reporting on matters which are associated with the field of law. Then law and MBA is another combination which is heavily in demand in the corporate sectors today. Non-profit management is another viable option for advocates. You can not only enter non-profit management, but you can open up NGOs which provide free legal aid services to people who are in need of legal aid and do not have the money to avail it. Law firms are working like huge MNCs. They are recruiting lots of lawyers from, of course, prominent law schools, and they are being paid heavily. Legal advisors are required by small organizations, big MNCs, government departments, government undertakings, government ministries. Even the defense sector like Navy, Air Force, and Army require legal services. They have special legal cells and legal branches, and they all conduct their own judicial exams so that they can hire judges or recruit judges which will exclusively decide on the defense matters. Now, friends, at the end of this session, I would like to conclude by saying that, of course, make an honest career choice so that you are able to go through with it. And from my own personal experience, I can definitely assure all of you that law as a profession is personally fulfilling, it is financially rewarding, and intellectually, it not only gives you an edge, it challenges you day in and day out, and it definitely gives you a heightened sense of awareness. With that, we have come to the end of this session. For any kind of queries and feedback, do write into us. Thank you very much.